In 11th, I learned how to crack Netflix Prime videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like Hotstar. You give it to teacher for free, they bump your marks, right?
Okay.
I was having an Instagram page. There was a boost post button that time. Kind of made 4,000 rupees that day.
Oh, wow.
As a 17, 18-year-old kid, dad was like, "Are you selling drugs?" I was like, "No." So launches space is very empty in India. Well, we made like a couple of people 2 CR in a day. Did it with people who didn't have such big lists, such big following. The whole game becomes is like, how do you create a 1 lakh rupee product and how do you sell it to 100 people in a day? One-on-one sales calls, man, I gotta spend 100 hours. I gotta build a sales team, right? That's tiring. The industry standards of converting a funnel is 30-35%. If it is not 60%, man, your page is not on point. Strategy here is to go omnipresence. It's just not email, it's just not retargeting. It's be everywhere. Be on Tinder, be on Bumble, be on YouTube, be on Pornhub. Just kidding. But now you have a pipeline of 3 CR ready, sitting on your whole database, ready to buy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make an offer and everyone is gonna jump. They're gonna be like, this is the craziest thing ever. I pitched them and no one bought.
Hey Shubh Jain, welcome to Bangalore.
Thanks. I'm so excited.
So, guys, Shubh Jain is a high-ticket consultant. He believes in generating leads from a free lead magnet and directly going to like a high-ticket product. We will go deeper into that, all the digital marketing stuff, conversion stuff, high-ticket stuff. But before that, I want to ask you, what motivates you and how did you get into this field? When did you graduate and how has been the past few years ka journey?
Not graduated, guilty as charged.
Great. Yeah, I thought so. Drop off?
Yeah,
Dropped off? Or?
yeah, drop out.
Okay,
Yeah.
drop out.
So college was not my cup of tea.
Okay.
So I first began with selling OTT platforms for cheap price. I used to
Okay.
crack Netflix Prime Video.
Nice.
I learned how to do it.
We all start with some kind of hustle.
Yeah. So in 10th, I used to trade that with my teachers to get more marks. In 11th, I learned how to crack Netflix Prime videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like Hotstar. You give it to teacher for free, they bump your marks, right?
Okay. Oh, wow.
So then accidentally, I was having an Instagram page for selling this. There was a boost post button that time. So I clicked on that. I put $40 and I sent it. And the next day I got like 60 DMs in my messages that, hey, I want Netflix at like $100, right? So kind of made 4,000 rupees that day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, as a school student, I made like 15,000 in a whole year, which was pretty cool.
Nice,
I had this
nice.
ambitions like, oh, I want to get a phone and stuff like that.
Every
Yeah.
successful entrepreneur has a hustle story when they were in school.
Yeah.
I used to, I bought a computer and then I had a CD writer. And at that time, the games were in CDs. So I used to copy CDs for people.
Okay.
And I used to charge some money for it. So basically, like, you'll have 2 CD game, 3 CD game, and Commandos and Red Alert and whatnot. So I used to make copies of that and sell it in the school. And I made some 2,000 rupees when I was in 12th standard.
Yeah. It's all fun. Then I figured out that boost post button. I was like, holy crap! I just spent $40 and I made like 4,000. This is some cool shit. I want to learn more about ads. So that is how this journey started. Then I guess next 1 year. I think this is 2019 or something like that, 2020 or something, right? I went super deep. Then I started working for an international company, SaaS company. We were killing it in the JVZoo market. I was working with them in the ecosystem, slowly got promoted as a business partner there because I was learning very rapidly the marketing stuff and they were doing like $1 million days. I was like, man, this shit is real. I want to know more about it. And it was launches, right? Software launches and stuff like that. That is how I gained this skills of launches, and that is how my whole career started. They gave me good salary to start with. I was very happy. I was making 40-50 grand like as a 17, 18-year-old kid. Mom, parents, they were happy. Her dad was like, are you selling drugs? I was like, no. So
Yeah, that's what parents always think. If we are making a lot of money, hey, what you are doing is legal,
right?
Yeah.
So then I rapidly grew and I handled the whole marketing team. Then they promoted me as a business partner, made good money, great money. Then worked there for 2 years, gained a lot of experiences, did solo launches, did millions in sales. And that's how I gained the experience majorly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what do you do right now? And do you consult other people or be like a partner to them? Tell me some
Yeah,
examples of how
so
you work.
basically, we are planning to expand to music artists, big e-com brands, and stuff like that. But for now, we have coaches, consultants, right? We help people launch and make a lot of money, right? The launches space is very empty in India. Not many people are doing launches. And we did it with a couple of people. We made like a couple of people 2 CR in a day, 80 lakhs in a day, and stuff like that. So I was like, it's working. Let's try it more. So we did 3 to 4 launches, even more. We did it with people who didn't have such big lists, such big following. Crushed it, 38, 40, 50 lakhs in a day, and stuff like that. I was like, this is magical. I think I have to sit around and like build my own framework around it. So I spent another few months sitting, building my own frameworks. Now we have the solid proof of thing that we have done it like a lot of times, so that it just works, right? A lot of times. And yeah, the idea is to do a launch and sell your high ticket offers, right?
Okay.
So like the question might be like, a lot of people have this like, how do you make a CR in a day? Well, if you have a 1 lakh rupee product, you sell it to 100 people, you make a CR. The whole game becomes is like, how do you create a 1 lakh rupee product and how do you sell it to 100 people in a day, right? So that kind of becomes the whole game, and that is how we do with launches.
Collect the full payment on the single day, or is it like you redirect them to call bookings and then you have to do one-on-one sales?
Yeah, great question. So we are on the event or a challenges. This is what we call as the reverse funnels, right? We kind of show them the offer. Hey, this is the offer, right? And it's not like a 2-hour webinar where you just go and sell a 2 lakh or 1 lakh rupee or 50,000 rupee product, right? So what we do is we show the offer and we give a tiny deposit link, right? Hey, pony up $2,000 or $1,000 if you're interested, right? Then we'll call and we'll qualify you. I don't want to work with everyone, right? That is how we do it. Let's say you get 100 deposits. Now you select whom you want to work with, right? They are interested in your offer. They know your pricing. Now you call. It's a 15-minute bite-sized call. You speak to them, and if they're interested, go ahead, collect the payment. Yeah.
Got it. Interesting.
I'll show you one of my own funnels. It's called Launch at Scale. I hope I'm writing it correct, right? Launchatscale.com. So this is one of my funnels. Just a quick stats.
Okay.
We invested 1,90,000 in ads.
Okay.
We made back 8,90,000 in cash collected.
Fantastic.
In 2 days. So this is pretty much working on dead cold audience on ads, right? So it's pretty cool. It's a very simple funnel. It's a 2-day event. It's not a webinar. It's a 2-day event. Now we are tweaking this. We are doing a 3-day event. We are raising our prices. We are doing a lot of these things. And the hook says like the new way of getting high ticket clients at scale without doing webinars, one-on-one sales calls, or low ticket offers. Now, yeah, so this is one of my examples.
So how does it go down? So you click on register. Okay, I'm a consultant. You enter your name, email ID, and phone number. Let's say I'll put an old phone number.
Yeah. So first thing is we have this personalized thing that congrats Deepak, right? That is a cool thing. And this video pre-sells you on the offer itself. So the way I do it is I let my audience know that, hey, I'm going to make you an offer, right? Even if you open your email, the welcome email, and even you'll get a WhatsApp message. It's an automation we did. In the email, we are very clear. Hey, get your credit cards ready. Right, we're going to make you one of the sickest offers of all time. We only have these many seats and we are very genuine about it. It's not a fake scarcity or so to say, right? So if we say we are getting 5 folks, it's 5 folks only, right? So that's the way it is. We be very genuine, very transparent. Even in the videos, just like, hey, listen, I'm going to make you an offer. Be ready. I'm only 5 people. It's one of the craziest offers. Yeah, we angle it, we hook it, we spice it up, and we go it out there.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you also help your clients in kind of restructuring and creating an offer like this.
Yep.
So what we have been doing, you know that we have a high ticket program called Alpha Club. Right now, this is the landing page, and we have a VSL, and it directly goes to a Calendly call booking link. Until now, most of the call bookings have come from me sending an email to my list directly. Not necessarily by running ads and having a customer acquisition cost in it, because we have been running funnels for almost 5 years right now. And all the leads that we generate in the top of the funnel is via free lead magnets, like learndigitalmarketing.com. Here
Yeah.
you can see this is a free lead magnet.
Hmm.
And we generate leads at around 20 to 30 rupees lead because it's a free course and it's a pretty broad targeting. And once people come into my funnel, I have different offers to make. I have a low ticket offer, which is the internship program with cashback. Then we have Mastery Club, which is a collection of courses. It's a course bundle with a little bit of service angle to it. And then Alpha Club is more of a high ticket program, a membership, and it has a lot of services along with it, like account management and everything. So this is what we have been doing until now. The next idea is to create new VSLs and get call bookings directly instead of getting it from the email list, and try to scale the number of sales at Alpha Club, because now delivery is something that we have automated. So 1 year, the delivery was primarily dependent on me and Jayant. So we used to get into one-on-one calls with our clients, help them, because initially you have to do things that don't scale to understand
Of course.
where you are, who your clients are, what are their challenges, the boring part, right? So the boring part we have done, and now we are like ready for scale. And there are two things in the scaling. One is the delivery part, which we have figured out to the most part, on how to deliver, who is the audience, what are their challenges, how to solve their problems. So now we have to scale on the marketing part. Obviously, we can scale with a little bit of lower efficiency and a lower ROIs also. We are scaling anyway. But how do we make sure that our ROIs is high and the impact of this scaling is very good?
Cool. Can we build a 1 CR a day plan for you?
Okay,
Cool.
done.
Let's do it. Great. So, Deepak, let's start with how big is your email list?
So the email list right now has 3 lakh active subscribers.
Okay.
Let's say 3,30,000.
Okay. Brilliant.
Okay.
So, okay, I want to ask this question to yourself. I don't want to come up with a number. How big of a launch do you want to do? You can be open. You can be 5 CR. You can be 2 CR. Whatever you feel based on your delivery like capacity, right? How big of a launch do you want?
Let's start with a conservative 3 CR.
3 CR,
Okay.
right. Let's write 3. So,
So
3 CR
target
over
is
there.
3 CR launch.
Okay, great. What is your product price? Alpha Club.
Product price is 2 lakh.
Okay, great. Now let's work from the back. Like, let's keep the end in the mind and let's work from there, right? Let's start with the end in mind, right? This is what we call as the reverse funnels. We start with the end in mind and we go and build this whole funnel, right? So now you have a 2 lakh rupee offer. Let's do some math. Let's open a calculator, right? To make 3 CR, you have a 2 lakh rupee product. How many sales do you need?
So let's say
300 sales?
that is.
Yeah,
so
I'm assuming it's 300.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 CR.
No, it's
divided
150
by-
sales.
Yeah, 150 sales.
Yeah, 150 sales, right? Cool.
150
Now, can we just go there and just write sales and just put sales target as 150? Okay, great. Now, Deepak, I know you personally. We've been friends for quite a while. I've seen your webinars, man. You close well, right? You typically close at 10-15%.
Easily.
Yeah, easily, right? We average 13 to 15% on dead cold audience, right? On a 1.35, 1.52 lakh rupee offers. So it's a way you do the events. It's not you go and say anything. I'll go more in deep about that. But since I know you, you already do well. Let's say you converted 15%. Let's take worst case, you converted 10%.
Okay.
So we need 150 sales. So you tell me how many people do we need in the room? It's 1,500 people.
1,500
Okay. Great. So what we are going to do...
This needs to be in one webinar or it can be across 2
Here's the thing. We don't do a webinar.
Okay.
A webinar is not designed to sell a 2 lakh rupee product. Yeah, if it is a 20,000 rupee product, you can do a webinar. But if you want to do sell a 2 lakh rupee product, this is what we call as the reverse funnels. You do an event or a challenge.
Okay.
Right? You do an event or a challenge. And I'll go more deep into this, but let's say you do a 3-day event or a 3-day challenge, right?
Okay.
Let's just write it down over there, right?
Okay.
Let's put we are planning to do a 3-day event.
Okay. So
Right?
3-day event or challenge.
Yeah, 3-day event or a challenge. Now, you're majorly targeting freelancers, agency owners and stuff like that, right? So let's put, I don't know, 100 clients in 3 days challenge or get more clients challenge or something like that, right? We do a 3-day challenge, day 1, day 2, day 3. On the day 2, you pitch.
Get your first high ticket
challenge, yeah, or just high ticket client challenge or something like that,
in
right?
10 days.
Yeah, and we'll go deep into hooks and stuff like that later. But you do this, right? So you run a 3-day challenge, and on day 2 you pitch, right? Day 1 is pure value. You're letting your subscribers taste you.
And how long will it be the
Depends.
Like what timings would you suggest?
Yeah, typically 1.5 hours. So this is not basically a typical webinar.
Yeah.
This is a very engaging environment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In the whole day one, you are like actually selling them on your framework,
Yeah,
right? I'm pretty sure
yeah.
Alpha Club has its own
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
proprietary framework
Yes,
that you
yes.
guys suggest to your clients and help them scale, right? And I'm sure you guys have a lot of case studies which are crushing it.
course,
So
yeah.
I'm sure you have a proprietary framework.
Yes.
You got to make sure.
Sell them on the method first.
Yeah, you got to make sure your people understand the framework.
They believe that this is possible.
Exactly. For me, how will I do it? Let's break it down, right? For me, the reverse funnels is my thing, right? Now, Deepak, I have a quick question for you, right? Okay, let's say you are doing one-on-one sales calls right now, right? To do 100 calls, how many time, like how much time is it going to take you?
Let's say almost a month, man, if it is just one salesperson.
Yeah. So if one call goes for 1 hour, which it doesn't, or let's say it does,
45
right?
minutes
40.
to 1
Okay,
hour
let's take
easily.
1 hour, right?
1 hour.
You have 100 calls, you need 100
100
hours,
hours, yeah.
right? What is the best conversion rate? Let's take 20%.
Yeah.
So you put 100 hours and you get 20 sales, right? That's the math. Let's keep it in mind. 100 hours and 20 sales. Right here, what we do is on day one we sell them on the framework. For example, me, I have this reverse funnel. That is my mechanism. That is my stuff, right? So day one, what I go and I do is like I'm just breaking down the math, right? Why reverse funnels is the thing. Why low ticket offers? In low ticket offers, you spend shitload of money on ads. You give more than the amount of like your product price, more than that to Mark Zuckerberg, right? On webinars, you can't sell high ticket stuff, right? Because dead cold audience, they won't
And this
resonate
event
with
or
you.
challenge is going to be a free one, or do
Yeah,
you charge?
it's a free one.
Okay.
Why? I'll go into free in a minute, and I got this from you as well. I'll go into that a little bit later, right? So what happens in low ticket is you end up not being profitable. You give a lot of money to ads. One-on-one sales calls, man, I gotta spend 100 hours. I gotta build a sales team, right? That's tiring, maybe for me, right? Third thing, you have webinars. Webinars, man, 2 lakh rupee product. Do you think you'll sell? Not really,
Not
right?
directly,
So these three things, right? First, I show them, hey, listen, if you want to make 10 lakhs, all it takes is 10 sales of a 1 lakh rupee product or 5 sales of a 2 lakh rupee product, right? Now, you can either do this using like this thing, which will suck up all these things, or either you can put an event, right, where people taste you and you give an offer straight, your high ticket offer, and the people who are interested, they sign up with you, right? And it's just not you're going and immediately pitching. You're giving them value for day one, day two, and then you're pitching them, right? So anyone who's interested, they can come and sign up, and it's not like
day one you do it like 1.5 hours. Do it in the morning or in the evening.
whatever time best works for your audience.
For the audience.
Yeah.
But it's like a 90-minute online session where you might be giving
Maybe
them
more
some
than that. You give them homeworks, you give them
Ah,
stuff, right?
So 90 to 120 minutes.
Yep.
You engage them. You
Yeah.
like pause it and then tell them, okay, go do this exercise.
Exact.
Come back, report it.
Exactly. Now,
Yeah.
you know the beauty of this method. Day two, only those people will show up who are really excited and engaged and sold on this framework. So your closing rate becomes tremendously high, 15, 20, 25%, right? Now, let's say you are in day two, right? And day three is the repitch, by the way. We go and repitch the offer. So typically you see 70% of the sales in day two, 30% of sales in day three.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So this is how this works. This is how the math works.
Okay.
Day two, you go in more of a emotional perspective. You share your case studies. You share, okay, Deepak, how are you going to do your first launch? Can you open that page, please? My landing page.
Yeah.
Right. Just go back. Let's go to the opt-in page. Let's go down, sir. Like just down. Yeah. The first one, getting high ticket clients at scale using the reverse funnels. That is my day one. Letting them sell on the framework that, hey, reverse funnel is the way. Reverse funnel is the way, right? Why? Like you have a 1 CR goal, you have a 2 lakh rupee product. In a year, you only need to make 50 sales. Can't you make 50 sales in 1 year? If you can't, hey, reduce your goal. Don't keep your goal as 1 CR. Keep it as 50 lakhs. Can't you make 10 sales? Can't you make like whatever, right? So that is how this works, right? And day two is my 40 crores of case studies broken down plus how to do your first 7-figure launch.
Got it.
Right? I'm putting the ball on your court now. First day, I sold them on the framework. Day two, only those people are attending who are really excited, who are sold on the framework, right? Now I'm showing, man, you got to know the framework. Cool, let's build your event. Let's build your 7-figure payday, right? So we really get on that and we start the pitch, right? I'm good at closing, at least that's what the number says. So I typically close 12 to 15% on any high ticket offer. And high ticket means anything above 1 lakh. Anything below a lakh, I feel it is a mid ticket, right? So day 2 is more of like the ball is in your court. Let's build it together, right? How will you do it? I'll map it down. Okay, this is the amount of registrations you need. This is the amount of this you need, right? This is how you do it, right? I'm going a little bit deeper on the framework. One of the biggest things, right, to keep in mind when you're doing a webinar or an event is do not teach them. If you go into the teaching mode, you will lose sales. Like I can't shout this enough, right? You will lose sales. Do not teach them. Just so I'll give you a quick backstory. This was my second webinar in my whole career, right? I was like, I just literally went. I teach them everything, and I was like, I'm going to make an offer and everyone is going to jump. They're going to be like, this is the craziest thing ever. I pitched them and no one bought. You know why? Because
every person's career at least once.
No one bought because I literally gave them everything on the webinar, right? And you start teaching them and they're like, holy fuck, I can do this, right? And what happens is you lose the momentum and they don't sign up with you, right? This happens. So do not tease them, right? So what I mean by tease them, just show them the framework, why this is the best thing, show them the case studies, show them how they can do it, but the how of it, not the what of it, right? So, the what of it, not how of it. I'm very sorry, right? The what of it, not the how, right? How is the product of yours, right?
So, give away the what, sell the how.
Sell the how, exactly. That is one of the biggest mistakes people do in webinar, and they come and cry, oh man, I'm getting 5% conversions, right? Because you're teaching, right? Right. So this is a very important concept to keep in mind. And day 2 is you actually go and throw the ball in their court, right? Let's build it together or whatever, right? And this works in every niche, by the way. Like if you're in weight loss, if you're in NLP, life coaching, whatever, it works in everywhere. You just have to connect the dots, right? And day 3 is now all the emotional people have already bought. Day 3 is for logical buyers.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Okay.
Day 2 is for emotional buyers. All the emotional people, jisko kharidna tha, they purchased it. Right? That is why 70-30, right? Because typically speaking, 60% of people are emotional buyers, 30% of people are like logical buyers, and 10% of people buy from the FOMO, the scarcity, the closing sequences and stuff like that, right? So day 3, you get typically 30% of your sales because it is more for logical buyers. So now you don't talk about how great your framework is, you go into logic. You go super deep, you go into drill, right? You show them the cost of not doing it. Very important, right? So one of the biggest things I can give in when it comes to sales and closing is don't show them the price of your product. Show them the price of not doing or not getting your product, right? Then once you show them the price of getting your product, it's like peanuts, right? Nothing, right? Yeah. And you go into logical, you go into super deep, and you use a lot of advanced sales closes here. What I mean by sales closes is you use a lot of analogies. Why? Because they have a lot of pre-beliefs in their mind that needs to be broken because they are logical buyers. You can't expect logical buyers to break easily, right? You need to break them. Right, so breaking their beliefs, going deep into analogies and answering their questions, that is more of day 3, right? And if you are in this state, now let's talk about your thing, right? You're doing an event, you have a already wet list, right? You already have a logical, I think you have a warm and hot list both, right? So if you do it and if you pitch on day 1, it'll still work, right? Because you have a very warm and hot list. And if I had a list size of yours, I'd pitch on day 1. Ask why? Because people who have the most money have the least time.
Interesting.
So I'd rather collect more cash on day 1 and day 2 and day 3, right, than throwing the pitch on day 2. But if you're doing dead cold audience, you never pitch on day 1, right? Because they don't know you yet, right? Nothing, right? They don't know ABC about you, right? And there's a way to warm up those things. I'll get into that as well. They don't know anything about you, right? So if you really go and pitch on day 1, yeah, you might make some sales, but it'll be crickets, and day 2 show-ups won't be that much, right? So day 1, you really sell them on the framework. Day 2, you go, give them the test again, and then pitch. And you're pitching your 2 lakh rupee offer, and what you're doing is not asking them to pony up 10,000 bucks or 2 lakhs or whatever. People are not comfortable because they're cold audience. Just ask 1,000 rupee deposit. Now, whoever will book the deposit are interested. Those people have the money. Then, can you just get on a quick 10-15 minute call, just answer the questions and collect the payment? Boom, that's it. This is how you do it.
Yeah, so you are reducing the load of having to do a 1 hour sales call and explain everything.
Yeah.
A good portion of that is given in the webinar.
Yeah.
And then you still need a personal touch point to.
Yeah, because it's 2 lakhs.
Yes.
Right?
People have some objections. They want that safety of
Exactly.
comfort of talking to someone and then converting.
Right? Now, this is the typical way of day 1, day 2, day 3, right? Very basic. Now, let's talk about your event, right? Can you go to the top? Let's work down on your numbers now. You want to make a 3 CR launch. Are you ready to do 3 CR in a day? Cool.
Yeah.
You have a 2 lakh rupee product. You need 150 sales. You're converting at 10%. That means you need 1,500 people live on day 2. Right? To get 1,500 people live on day 2, you typically need 2,100 people on day 1. Right? To get 2,100 people on day 1, we typically get 40 to 45% show ups on day 1. Right? Again, I could go into deep into how you get 40-45%, but it's just length the podcast.
So I say you need 5,000 registrations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Now, let's talk about, you need 5,000 registrations, right? To get 5,000 registrations, you need 9,000 clicks, right? So the industry standards of converting a funnel is 30-35%.
Yeah.
For me, it's minimum 60%.
Yeah.
If it is not
50 to 60%.
Yeah, if it is not 60%, man, your page is not on point, right? You got to really rework on the page. So you need 9,000 clicks. Now you do whatever it takes to get 9,000 clicks. You got an email list, 300,000 people. You run ads to your CSV audience. You run ads to your warm visitors. You run ads to your Instagram audience, to all the warm audience that knows you, right? I'm pretty sure you can pull off 9,000 clicks.
Email audience.
Email audience, and the strategy here is to go omnipresence. It's just not email, it's just not retargeting. It's be everywhere. Be on Tinder, be on Bumble, be on YouTube, be on Porn. Just kidding, but yeah, just be everywhere, right? Run Google remarketing ads, run Facebook ads, WhatsApp broadcasts. People miss it. We have 75% open rates on WhatsApp broadcasts, email list, right? SMS. Are you tapping all these things?
Chalo, let's write down everything.
Yeah, for sure. WhatsApp marketing.
You have WhatsApp. You have automated calls.
Automated calls. But automated calls doesn't really work for registrations.
Okay.
Right? So WhatsApp, and you could write email list, the biggest portion of it. And email list, just not going and dropping the links. Hey man, I'm coming up with them. That's the rookie way of doing
like
it.
a proper with
a proper, I'll get into that, right?
Proper copy.
Yeah, I'll get into that, right? Email list, then we got Facebook ads, we got YouTube ads, we got display ads. Most people avoid display ads, display retargeting ads. It's one of the cheapest form of ads and registrations you can get, right? Display retargeting. Just be everywhere, right? If they open Facebook organic, you should be there. If they open Facebook ads, you should be there. If they open LinkedIn, you should be there. If they open email, you should be there. If they open WhatsApp, you should be there. That is how you build a massive buzz and hype. Right? People ask this question, Shubh, how do you get like 40-50% show ups? It's not by sending 10,000 reminders and spamming them. It is by building the narrative from the start. Right? If you are everywhere, if your hook is on point, and I'll go more into it, but organic channels everywhere basically, right? So you are everywhere. Omnipresence is the secret to building massive hype. Right? Omnipresence. That means being everywhere. Right? So Deepak, you can easily pull off 9,000 clicks, man. I know you can pull off like 30,000 easily, right? So that's fine. I'm sure you can get 9,000 clicks. That means you'll get 5,000 registrations. Out of 5,000 registrations, you'll get 2,100 people on day 1, 1,500, 1,400-ish on day 2. You close, you get 10% close, 150 deposits. Now you have a pipeline of 3 CR ready, sitting on your whole database, ready to buy. Right?
Yeah, true.
Here's my question. I know your sales team is banger. You're great at sales. Can you convert 50% of them? Congrats. You have 1.5 CR in cash collected.
Yeah.
Right? In a day, in 2 days, in 3 days, right? So now, this is worst case I'm talking. Giant will easily pull off 70-80%.
Yeah, worst
right?
case.
Yeah. Because they're already interested, man.
Yeah, because you have filtered it from the clicks.
Exactly.
And then people who showed up on the second day.
Yeah. And we haven't even gone to day 3 yet.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So now, typically speaking, day 3, you'll get 600-ish people showing up. It's like, oh, Deepak pitched me, I'm not going to show up. Typical audience, right? Can't do much. People are weird.
Yeah.
So now day 3, you get 600 people. You close at 5%. What is 5% of 600? 30 more deposits. Let's write it down. Day 3, 30 more deposits. Right? So overall now 160, 170, you have 180 deposits. Let's do a quick math. Let me open the calculator. Right? Now, how do we open this? Yeah, it's over here. Right? 180 deposits into one. So it's 2 lakhs, right? Your product?
Yeah.
Okay. So cool, 2 lakhs. You got a 3 crore 60 lakhs pipeline. Right? And let's be realistic. If even Giant closes 60% of it, divided by 100, you'll pull off a 2 CR cash collected.
Yep.
Right? This is how you do it without getting onto 10,000 sales calls, doing gazillion webinars, or giving all the money to Zuckerberg.
Yes. True.
Now,
awesome, man.
the way I
This
explained
is
this to you,
exciting.
this is my day one.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, this is what you do in your day one.
Exactly.
Reverse
Now,
funnel.
are you sold on this?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go. Buy my
Yes.
product. Just
Yes.
kidding.
So you have already given the content, so I can't buy now. But yeah, amazing, man. So this is very interesting, but obviously this is not as simple as it seems.
Of
right?
course.
There are going to be nuances.
Yep.
So can you talk about some of the top things that one has to look out for if somebody is trying to pull
For
something
sure.
like this off?
You will mess up the first time.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. Right?
So the first time we'll tell you where you get messed up. So
Okay, so you're gonna be very excited. You're gonna be, I'm gonna do this, that. Yeah, you're gonna make some deposits. But first tip, pro tip, as soon as you get the deposits, call them immediately.
okay, got it.
Don't wait for even a day. Right? You got the deposits day to night, ya din ko. Call them on spot. The moment they have put the deposit, next 5 minutes call them. Why? Because if you give them time, they'll go from hot to warm again and they won't buy. Your conversions will drop. Call them immediately. This is one of the biggest mistakes I made.
You don't need to pitch them immediately. Or
No, you already
them
pitched on the
immediately?
event, right?
Okay. So you call them and
Hey man,
collect the
I saw
payment
that.
immediately, or
Yeah.
no need to do another
I'm just
call.
I'm just gonna give you a phone call. Hey
Okay.
Deepak, man, I saw you book the deposit for launch at Scale Bootcamp. Cool. Did you attend the event? Yeah. Or did you like the event? What did you like about it? Right? Awesome, man. Okay, just quick. Just I'm curious, Deepak. Why do you think reverse funnels will work for you? Why not low tickets? Why not one-on-one sales calls? Now they will sell themselves on why reverse funnel is the thing. It's like, cool, man. Sounds good. Do you have any questions? Yeah. How's the curriculum? Yeah. This, that. You answer the question. Cool, man. How do we go ahead from here? Right? Awesome. I'm going to send you a Razorpay link in your email. Whatever the deposit amount you're going to pull, just do it. Maybe in the call you figure out the payment plans or EMIs or whatever, and you go ahead. Right? Or if it's a full pay, you go do full pay. Right? That's how you do it.
Awesome, man. Fantastic. Cool. I'm super excited to do this.
Of course.
And probably we will do it very soon.
Yep.
Plan this out.
Sure.
And maybe you can help us with some case studies.
Of course.
Check out how the curriculum is. And,
Yep.
and I'm like super excited to try this out, because
Done.
what makes sense in your model is that there are people trying to sell whatever mid-ticket or high-ticket it is in the webinar itself. But many times it doesn't have a conversion because low ticket is fine for webinar. So the way I look at it is that if you are selling something for like 500 rupees, a listing page is enough, like an e-commerce store, Amazon page. Hey, this book, purchase it for 500 rupees. And then you just put some bullet points. That is enough. If you are selling, let's say, something for 2000 rupees, you need at least like a sales page. You're selling something for 5000, you need like a video on the sales page or a VSL. You sell something for like 10,000-15,000, you need a live engagement on the webinar. And then the way I looked at it is that if you are going beyond 30,000-50,000 price point, then you can only convert it in one-on-one sales, but that's not necessarily the case. There is a midpoint between that, which is to do something like this, where you pitch on the webinar, all the information is something that they have received already. On top of it, you are also collecting deposits so that you only spend time with extremely qualified prospects.
People who have money.
People who have money. And talking only to the people who have paid a deposit makes sense, and the conversions will be much more, because as you said, if you are doing 100 sales calls and you are converting 20 people, that's like 100 hours spent in trying to convert people. But here it's much more efficient.
You spend 2 hours a day, max 6 hours, and you get 180 deposits. Yeah.
Got it. So why do we do it for free? Why can't we do like a 99
Great
rupee
question.
challenge,
I want to come here.
499 rupee challenge?
Yeah, of course. Nothing wrong in doing it. But I just want to add one more thing, a pro tip to you. If you do it, please don't do it paid. Why? Because, okay, so let's burst the myth first. People say that when you do free stuff, a lot of junk audiences come in, right? Yeah, junk audience will come in if your hook is make 1 CR overnight, right? Can you open my page real quick? Let me open it. If this is your hook, I don't think any junk audience is coming in. And if your targeting is sorted, and even if you have this thing that what represents you, if none, leave the page immediately because you're not going to get any value.
Got it.
Right? If you do this, and if you have a level of vetting in your ads and all these stuff, that in ads you're being very specific whom you're targeting and stuff like that, right? And whom you're saying to, right? Hey man, hey, coaches, consultants, course creators doing above 1 lakh a month. Cool, I have this for you. You are pre-vetting them on ads, then the funnel, then in the thank you page, you're letting them know, hey, I'm going to make you an offer. Any bozo who doesn't get it won't attend it. Typical people, right, who get offer, oh, Shubh is going to make me an offer, right? They won't attend it because they're not my audience. I don't want them, right? So it's very pre-qualified. And in fact, I have a very short list, but all the people in my email list are highly qualified, extremely high qualified, right? In fact, with the list of 2,000 people, I think we pulled off more than 16 lakhs in sales.
Oh, fantastic.
Right? So that's the thing. And yeah, next, coming to why not 499 and stuff like that. Yeah, you can do it, but I'll let the flow come first, then add the friction. Right? As you always say, I learned this from you that build your list, man.
Yeah.
Let's say with free stuff, you can build your list to 10,000 people. With paid, you're just going to build like 200. Right? Now this is another debate for another day, but I've been in this industry 4 years, made millions, not bloating myself, but just adding this that I can bet you on this, that your free list will make you more money than your 200 people list.
I also feel that sometimes what happens is that if there is a small friction added, like 99 rupees pay karo, 499 pay karo, there might be a lot of qualified people who don't enter the funnel at all because there is a little bit of friction.
Exactly. I'll get onto that as well. But here, Deepak, a quick question for you, right? Let's say you have a 300,000 email list free versus you have a 10,000 paid list. Whom do you think will make the
paid list?
Do you think that list will make you more money?
No, but there will be a lot of qualified audience in the 3 lakh people list who have not yet paid me because the offer did not match.
Okay, great. Now, another question to you, right? Deepak, you're crushing it. You're the OG of this game, right? Let's say, Deepak, you want to learn carpenting, right? Let's take an example, right? Let's say I'm the best in the world at carpenting. Are you going to pay me 99 rupees or are you going to pay me lakhs of rupees?
Lakhs of rupees.
Will you pay me 99 rupees?
I won't.
Let's say I'm the best marketing guy you've ever seen. Will you pay me 99 rupees? No. So let's say, on the other hand, I'm the best marketing guy or I'm the best carpenter ever. Will you opt in for free?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I add a paid barrier, what happens is, another quick question, I'm just going to sum it up. Let's say I'm going to give you a BMW for 2 lakh rupees. Will you buy it?
No.
Why?
Because it kind of devalues the entire
exactly
the promise of BMW
right?
itself, which is like
cool. You need to understand people buy high ticket stuff because they like buying it. People buy a Rolex watch because they like buying it. They're not watching it to check the time. They just buy it to say that I have fucking made it. I fucking deserve it, right? So people buy high ticket stuff because they feel like they deserve it. They buy a Louis Vuitton bag because they feel like they deserve it. Versus a Walmart buyer, they buy it because it's cheap.
Yeah. True.
Right? Walmart buyers go to Walmart because it is cheap. Louis Vuitton buyers go to Louis Vuitton because it is expensive.
Yes.
Let's have a quick thing, right? Range Rovers versus Swift Desire. I don't know. Swift Desire is 10 lakhs. Correct me if I'm wrong. Range Rover is what? 1 crore? Or let's say 10 crores, whatever the Range Rover Discovery, 100x the price, right? Tell me something. Is the tire in Range Rover 100 times more rounder than the tires in Swift Desire? Okay, let's talk about AC. Does the AC in Range Rover gives you 100 times more cooling?
No.
Okay, let's talk about mileage. Does it give 100 times more?
No.
Heck, it gives 100 times less. Yes. But still people buy Range Rover because it is expensive.
Yes.
So people buy luxury items because they feel they deserve it. People who buy cheap stuff because they want that. So if you're charging 99, what do you think, what kind of buyers will you attract?
Yeah, that's when you get junk audience
Right?
into your list.
Yeah. So if you think that, oh man, charging $9 or $99 is going to get me Deepak Kanagaraju in my list, that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll rather have 15,000 people in my list than having 300 people in my email list. Right? I'd invite them to my community first. I'd invite them to my email list first. Then I can sell whatever the crap I want, 200, 300, 99, because now they are in my email list.
Got it.
Right? I can sell anything, anytime to them.
Yes.
Right? That is why I personally prefer free over anything. Right? And as you said,
Yeah, makes sense.
Right?
Makes complete sense.
Yeah. And as you always say, right? Don't add friction. You always promote these stuff as first, so you can build the brand, you can build the impression. And this is one of the biggest things. Your prices are part of your branding. You said me a BMW for 2 lakhs. You said no to a BMW for 2 lakhs. Why? Because there's no point. Right? Your prices are the part of your branding.
Oh, wow. That's a quote that I have to write it down.
Right?
Yeah. Your price is part of your branding.
Again, how did I prove it? Hey, I just offered you a BMW for 2 lakhs. You just said no to it. It just makes no sense. Right? And if you market yourself as a 99 rupee buyer, you can't really go and charge like 10 lakhs or whatever, man. It's just no way.
Yes.
Right? It's like selling a Ferrari for like 2 lakh rupees. Right? Yeah.
Awesome, man. Overwhelming, super exciting. I am totally up for trying this reverse funnel thing. I think we should work together and pull this off. So let's see where this goes. So yeah, what else? How do you see the industry evolving? And you have not even completed 20 years of age, right?
Please don't mention that.
So I'm like, by the time you are 35, you can be a billionaire, man. Like if you are on the same path.
Touch wood.
I think you have like a tremendous amount of energy, curiosity, willingness to learn new things, meet new people. So how is life at this age? Does it feel like you are unstoppable? Or what do you think? Where will you be like 10 years down the line?
It is tiring, gotta be very honest. I'm a very boring person.
Okay.
Extremely boring person.
So it was a very interesting conversation, man. I think
no,
with the right people,
because it's business. Personal life, I'm boring.
Okay.
Like I have no friends, and that is by choice. Because I don't want to make friends. I just have to. I do not have enough time as well. But yeah, so my personal life is very boring. Lot of stuff happening in life which already distracted me, but I'm back on track. These days I'm really understanding the importance of self-help. I've like bought 60 self-help books in last 1 month.
Okay.
Buying books is an addiction, right? So yeah, I've started reading them. I'm learning. That's why hanging out with people like you really makes sense. And I know you've been through a lot in your life. So I want to ask a couple of questions myself to yourself, right?
Sure.
So yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Since I personally know you, you've been through a lot, right? I don't want to go into hows and whys, but I know you've been through a lot. It's tough. How do you handle it? How do you just don't be like, fuck, I'm going to quit this, but just keep going, man. It's tough.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is that when I'm in extreme pain, whether it is be a psychological pain or a physical pain, I just remember that I have made it this far, right? Given an option, would you not exist or exist with pain, with the hope of the pain going away soon? You would obviously want to exist. So that is the only mindset which helps me through tough times, because whatever experiences that you are gaining in your life, it is a gift, and whether you realize it or not. And secondly, everybody has their own way of experiencing pain. Not everybody has all the positives, not everybody has all the negatives. And I think my quality of life has exponentially increased once I stopped comparing myself to others. Because the way I look at it is that you are going to be only competing with your previous self. And as you gain more maturity, you will end up taking life in a much more positive way no matter what happens to you. I think I have read a lot of Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius' books, Meditations, this book called Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. And I think Stoicism helps a lot to make sure that you don't suffer more than necessary, right? You can experience pain. Little bit of suffering might be inevitable, but you don't need to suffer more than necessary. yes, what has happened. And when you live life long enough, then you start realizing that nothing is going to go according to plan anyway. And then that way you can just go ahead and make sure that you are just living life more in the present moment and enjoy things that come along without worrying too much about the future. Yeah. So that is my philosophy.
Brilliant. Gained a lot of insights. Let's say the world is ending tomorrow. You only have 3 books to recommend to people. That is his must read. What are the 3 books?
I mean, like, don't read books in the first place.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, the world is going to end tomorrow, so just go meet the people who you love, spend some time with them,
Yeah.
and maybe travel to a place where you have not been to. So books is more for like self-development.
Okay, let's twist the question.
Future may benefit. आएगा.
Okay, let's twist the question, right? Maybe it was a wrong question.
Uh,
Maybe you can only read 3 books in the whole world. What are those 3 books will be?
Oh, that's a tough question to answer. I think Osho's book called Book of Wisdom,
Okay.
which is basically his discourses in the ashram, I think around 1980s,
Okay.
if I'm not wrong. So he talks about Atisha's 7 points of mind training.
Okay.
So Atisha is a character which is not very well known. Obviously Buddha is very well known, but Atisha was also a person who got enlightenment around 1100 AD, and there is not much written about him, but there are sutras. Sutras are basically very boiled down texts, because at that time you did not have the printing press or the way to go ahead and print a lot of content. So it was boiled down to just one-liners. So he takes like a one-liner or a few one-liners, and then he explains about it for like, let's say 1.5 hours. And there are 40 chapters like that. The entire book is around 50 hours, and it's an audio book. So I have listened to it for like 4 times, and I'm on the 5th time now. So it is something that I keep reading and I keep listening via Audible whenever I'm driving, before going to sleep, and that has helped a lot, especially in terms.
Come again. What's the book name?
Book of Wisdom.
Got it.
Yeah, we can check it out here. So Book of Wisdom on Audible.
Sweet.
So this has been really life-changing for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think The Secret of Secrets is also a pretty good book.
All right.
Pretty much all of them are
Osho.
audio recordings of his discourses,
Hmm.
and it's a pleasure to listen to him. He speaks very, very slowly,
Hmm.
and you will get used to it.
Hmm.
Sanjay Shenoy was the one who recommended me this book.
I met him yesterday.
Yeah. And we obviously started with watching Wild Wild Country on Netflix. And then obviously Osho's philosophy and what he has taught is completely different from how they have portrayed him on the Netflix channel. But then I really got interested in it. And so this is one book that I would recommend when it comes to life, right? When it comes to health, master your metabolism.
Okay. First time.
Yeah,
heard
this
about
one.
it. Okay.
By Gillian Michael. This is one of the earliest fitness book that I have read,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes really deep about your metabolism generally.
Damn.
Right? Your thyroid levels, hormone levels. Why it is recommended not to eat a lot before you go to sleep, because a slight amount of hunger has a certain chemical in your blood which actually stimulates a lot of organs and rebalances hormone production. So that has helped a lot. In fact, if I have to go from self-help and fitness to wealth, in terms of wealth, permission marketing, because my entire email marketing strategy has been based on permission marketing by Seth Godin.
Wow.
And Seth Godin also has permission.com.
All right.
So if you go to permission.com, it basically redirects to amazon.com
Sweet.
site here.
All right.
So this is the foundation of my email marketing knowledge. So this has been very useful. And let's say I would recommend one more book. It's called The Rational Male.
Okay.
And this book is not just about dating, but overall what it means to be masculine, right? You can't ask the world, hey, what do you think masculinity means? Because right now, masculinity itself is now put into the bucket of toxic masculinity. Hey, if you are masculine, you are toxic.
You're toxic, yeah.
But what they mean as toxic masculinity is not actual masculinity, right? That's a reverse of masculinity. So what is the mental framework and mindset that you need to have as a man to survive in this world? Because surviving as a man in this world is much different than surviving as a woman in this world.
Yeah.
When a man cries, nobody pays attention. Even though
He cries
a
alone.
lot of people, yeah, even though a lot of people are encouraging, oh, show your emotions, go ahead and cry, express your emotions, be more expressive, because it kind of is quite disturbing for women sometimes when a man is stoic and not very expressive of what is going on in his mind. It's a mystery, so they want to break it. But at the same time, if a man cries, then nobody gives them attention. And if a woman cries, the whole world gives attention, right? So women crying and man crying are very different, because women have something to offer, which is fertility and the progeny of the human race, or the continuation of the human race. So that way, when you grow up, you watch movies, you listen to parents, you listen to your female friends and girlfriends, you listen to teachers, you watch pop culture media, which has a certain narrative. And that narrative does not reflect the truth, because the world has changed in the last 50 years more than it has changed in the last 5,000 years. The whole agenda of gender differences, gender roles, is very much of a new concept. And what I learned from this book is that you cannot reverse millions of years of evolution of how gender roles have evolved to be. What is the basic nature of men? What is the basic nature of women? It's actually very different, and it goes much deeper into evolutionary psychology, rather than just like saying like, hey, use this pickup line, you will get girls. It's not about that. So this helped me a lot. The way I view my dating life, married life, relationship and everything. And it's called it's a separate framework. And obviously there are many people who are against this. They say that
Controversial.
It's a little bit controversial. They say that it's a little bit misogynistic also, but if you actually read the entire book and have the patience to read the entire book, he keeps going back to evolutionary psychology, that I am telling you the truth. I am not trying to put my opinion on you. You go do your own research. You will arrive at the same truth. For you, I have done the research. I am presenting you to the facts which I have discovered. I am not telling that, hey, I think this is the way it has to be, and telling you that. So I think as a content creator also, I have been inspired a lot by him, that even Alan Sultanik from Nothing Held Back had in one of the newsletters, he was telling that you arrive at the truth. You as a content creator is helping your audience arrive at the truth.
Wow.
Right? You are not putting your opinion on them. That is what journalists do. They try to shift the whole thing into a narrative. Like, listen to me, I am important. That is a very egoistic thing. But as a content creator, you help go ahead and present facts as they are, and the truth might hurt, yes, but you are just a messenger, and people have to understand that. And so this has completely changed my life. This book is a series of 4 books. You have the basic rational male book, then you have a book called Positive Masculinity, then you have something about religion, and then something called Preventive Medicine. So all these books are like very well written, but it's very, very heavy to read the book. You read one paragraph, you did not understand anything, and then you have to like reread it. And that's why when you read the second time, third time, fourth time, you discover new concepts. And both Osho and this book, both are like constant reminders, rather than you grasp on one concept and then you can't like run with it, right? You need constant reminders, because you need to go against your natural gravitations, which might not be in your good interests. So yeah, I think these 4 books is what I could come up with over the top of my head.
Great. And I'm going to be a little selfish here.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And that is specifically for me, right? I'm going to use this as an advantage, right? Well, lately I've been being the biggest bottleneck in my own business.
Okay.
How do I make sure it's not that I am being the biggest bottleneck in my business? And just for more context, lately a lot of been stuff from outer world and other stuff in life are affecting the work, right? And I love my work for sure, but the focus that is needed, the depth that is needed is not coming. And again, so due to a lot of circumstances, you've been through a lot. That's why I've been asking you this question, right? A lot of times you are the biggest bottleneck in your business. And let's say you again become a big bottleneck in your business. What would you do? What are the steps would you take to get back the focus or regain the strength you had, or the power of discipline or consistency you had?
See, it all comes down to choices. And if you choose that, hey, I want business success and I want to be really successful in my business, then you have to pay a price for it. I paid a lot of price at different points in my life because my priorities were my priorities. So that way, like, should I prevent my first marriage from failing, do whatever is required to prevent that marriage? Or should I just let it go because it might not work in the long term anyway and I want to be successful in my own career and in my relationships in the future? That is a choice that I made. And there is a price to make that choice. The price is, hey, did I make the right choice? The question is going to haunt you for life. So you don't end up making right decisions ever. You end up making decisions and then you make it right.
Wow.
So what I did. I felt at that time that was the right thing to do. Whether it turns out to be the right thing or not depends on what I do every day, right? So if you don't want that question to bug you, then you have to work hard to get it done. So let's say you want to build a six-pack abs. There is a price to pay. You have to work consistently for a long time. And then let's say you get the six-pack abs. But in the meantime, let's say you did not build your business and you hardly just survived. You spent maybe 3-4 hours in the business, which mostly does not happen, but I'm just giving you an example because most of the people who are ripped are also fucking rich, right? It always goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
But any decision that you make, you do it that way. And if you think that you are the biggest bottleneck in your business, and if business is the priority, then you have to make the sacrifices required to remove yourself as a bottleneck. So that is not something the society would advise. Because obviously you are in a different path and you have your own mental framework on how to approach life. So my thing is that, hey, if you want to grow your business and that is the first priority in your life, and let's say you are going to the shower, you are turning on the shower, little bit lukewarm water or hot water, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? That is what is occupying your mental space. And the thing that occupies your mental space ends up getting the most benefit of you putting your mental energy on it. And if that is about, hey, my girlfriend did this to me, that is occupying your mental space, then you need to get over it. Mom said this to me, that friend behaved like this, aise ho gaya, waise ho gaya. Then you are not putting your mental energy and mental processing power on the right things. So if there are any unopened loops in my head, so I had a house owner who has not returned the advance yet. And whenever I think about it, I am like, TK, एक legal notice बेचते हैं, let's get into a legal fight, let's threaten him, let's force him to give it back. But then it's like 3 lakhs. Is it worth my time? What if I consciously decide to let it go? Because the amount of time I will save by letting it go, I might end up making a lot more money. So I consciously close the loop there. Consciously close the loop on the way my ex treated me.
Maturity.
Yeah. So that way, whenever you see anyone who has gone through any kind of negative experiences with other people and they kind of spend a lot of time on it, it's a price to pay, which is like taken away from what you can possibly grow, right? So even Nitish Banka ke saath I was doing a podcast recently 2 days back. He's an Alpha Club member. He's a matrimonial lawyer in the Supreme Court, and he tells, like, I see a lot of clients, 100 crore ka property hai, they won't settle like 10 crores to the wife who is asking for a divorce. They are like fighting it out for 10 years. Bro, like, what is the cost of your time for 10 years? Your life is limited. And why do you have to like spend so much time fighting this out? Why can't you just let go?
You gotta let go of few things.
Yeah. So I feel like most of the bandwidth for humans is mostly going away in dealing with other people. But the philosophy that I have developed, apart from close friends, family members, wife, everyone else outside my circle, on certain level, I'm going to be non-emotional about it. So I will give you a small analogy. You are driving down the road and a buffalo is crossing the road. You are honking, it's not moving. Do you get angry? Probably not, because it's a buffalo. That's how it would cross the road. You slow down, you wait for the buffalo to cross, or you go around it. Same thing happens with a human. You get angry. You shout at him. Hey, fucker. You say something like that. Why? Because you think that if you were in that position, you won't act like that. If you are crossing the road, you would probably cross it fast to let the car go or something like that. And you are assuming that that person's intelligence is as much as you. And that is why you get angry. thinking that he is like you, but what if he is not like you? What if he is just another living being, like a buffalo or something? Why do you get so personal? So have a little bit of disconnect, because the only thing that can hurt you is humans, because humans cause suffering to you. If you are in the forest, an animal comes and attacks you, you are not going to get angry at the animal. You are going to experience a lot of pain for sure, but you are not going to suffer. Arey tune aise kaise kar diya? No. Humans is what cause suffering to other people. And once you have that disconnect, and once you deal with people that, okay, this is how it is, let me deal it in a very logical way. This is what is presented in front of me. This is the price to pay. Am I ready to pay the price or not, without getting into what goes on in their head? How can they behave like that? Is it fair? Is it unfair? Is it just? Is it unjust? Usi chakkar mein you should never get into, because based on their life experiences, what they have learned as they have grown up, that is the software that is running in their mind. What will you do? And yes, it could have been a choice. I'm not saying that they never had the choice. And it could have been the choice, but they are making a certain choice based on their life experience, boss. So your life experience is different. The way you see the world is different. So that way, when you have all these mental models and mental frameworks, which is helping you focus back on work, then you can just keep focusing on work and keep going forward, and nothing matters, right? The caravan keeps passing, the dog keeps barking.
Eventually the thing will go by itself.
Yeah. So it is important to keep moving, and whether you are moving slow or moving fast doesn't matter. It is very important to enjoy what you do and not always work for a goal state. Yes, we have here worked on a goal state, but while you are getting there, you should enjoy the journey as well. Right? So one more framework I will give you. A lot of people are wanting to predict the future, wanting to have a certain level of control over the future. That is why they get government jobs. Chalo, abhi kitna bhi hard work karo. UPSC exam mein, even if the success rate is 0.1%, let me go ahead and work as hard as possible. And then I will get settled in life and income aata hi rahega. I will never get fired and retire bhi ho jayega, pension bhi milega. Everybody is going towards certainty. Why do people get married? And that too sometimes early, that too to a wrong partner. Because the uncertainty of who will be my life partner bugs them. So abhi fix kar do, marriage kar lo. Then why do you need law in love? Because when love fails, law will keep it together. That's why you need law in love, right? That's why marriage. So when you think about it, the requirement for certainty in life has a certain price to pay. And that price is possibility. You either pay with possibility and get back certainty, which is also not very certain anyway. It will still fall apart. Or you give up certainty and embrace possibility, which will make you extremely uncomfortable. You need to learn to thrive in uncertainty.
And I believe it's one of the most underrated skills out there, like thriving in uncertainty.
Yeah, I mean, that is the only skill out there, I would say.
Wow.
If you can be comfortable with uncertainty, then you are living in the present
You're unstoppable,
moment. Man. Yeah, you are living
in
the present moment.
Nothing can stop you.
You are doing everything without worrying about the consequences of what you are doing. And you are doing what is right. Obviously, you won't do things which are wrong for others or anything like that. If you are in that zone anyway, you will be a happy person. For other people, you will be a happy person to be around with. And when you think about even in business, the uncertainty is what keeps it exciting, right? So people go to astrologers, such a big market, completely pseudoscience. There has been enough scientific evidence that astrology is bullshit. I don't believe in astrology. I don't know about you. Sorry.
I don't.
Great.
I don't either.
Right. Good marketers are all like, science-based, logical-based, rational-based, right? So anything that is pseudoscience, see, I'm not like intellectually lazy. I'm not saying no to it completely outright, but I have done my research. And let's say if I give you 2 stones and I say that, hey, if you rub these stones together, some energy will be released in it and it will come and heal you. You are equally intellectually lazy if you say that, hey, this is bullshit. You are just a charlatan. And you are equally intellectually lazy if it is, oh, great, give me, I will buy it. No, you have to investigate. What is it? What kind of stone it is? What kind of gem it is? Does it actually release any energy? Is there any scientific evidence that we can measure with some tool that it releases energy? Does it affect the body? Does it not affect the body? You have to investigate, right? So that way, when I look at rationality and logic is what has brought us where we are here, right? Rationality and logic and scientific progress is what has given us radio waves, electricity, computers, YouTube videos, all that. And इसके अंदर अभी astrologers are on YouTube, right? So the people who are taking the world forward are the scientific people, not the pseudo-scientific people.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about it.
Of course.
Right? And that way, when you look at it, let's say we are being extremely rational, extremely logical, and what I was talking about was that people get gravitated towards astrology, government jobs, very early marriage and all that because you want a certain level of certainty for the future. And when something happens to them, which is completely unexpected, like accident ho gaya or kuch loss ho gaya, like how can this happen to me? They get so worked up, right? So the desire for predicting the future, let's take an ideal state, right? As you said, goal state le lenge, wahan se we will work in reverse.
Yeah.
What would be the ideal state?
Yeah, death.
No, not death, but let's say in terms of predicting what will happen 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line. What is your ideal state? Let's say you have a super magical astrologer who can actually predict the future. What would be the ideal state?
Maybe what? I'm 10 times more richer.
10 times more richer, but let's
Maybe
say
I'm more happier.
You are happier, that is more vague, but if you have to become more specific, you would want to know where you live, what house you have,
whom I'm with,
who you are with, what do you do, who are your employees, and you keep pushing it forward with the thought experiment. Keep pushing it forward. Ideal state, ideal state. The ideal state would actually come to a level where you can predict every aspect of your future, including your health state, mental state, to a level where it is as good as your memory of yesterday. And if you actually reach that ideal state, you have lived through it.
Yeah.
So if you can predict the next 50 years of your life, you are now 70 years old because time is an illusion.
Yep.
And do you want that? Do you want to just rush through it without experiencing it? No. Now you get back to the present state.
Wow.
Right?
Cool.
I don't want the future to be very predictable. I want it to unfold and I want it to surprise
we all
me
love
as I go
certainty.
through. Yeah. So that is what life is about, right? To live through it and to live through that uncertainty and to embrace that uncertainty. So I think if you do that, then it won't really get to your head. You have some time today, sit and get some work done. How is it going to be a bottleneck there?
Yeah, such a great way to look at it. I've been so I spoke to a friend of mine, Gaurav Madan. You know him, right?
Yeah.
So I asked the same question to him, and he was like, at the end, there's only one thing certain, that's you're gonna die, right?
Die, yes.
So the problem you have, is it gonna make you die? Like if not, it's fine. It'll happen, right?
Yes.
It'll go through in next couple of days. You're gonna be okay. What? Like maybe your parents abandoned you, maybe your girlfriend left you. That's all cool, man. But death is the ultimate thing. Is it gonna let you die, right? If not, then you will move on. Things will happen, and that was such a brilliant thing. Nice. Love it. Pretty deep.
Cool, man. Yeah. I mean, when shit gets thrown at you, you have to deal with it.
Right? We are men's.
Cool. I think we will wind up now. I think it has been an excellent conversation.
Yep. Do you have any questions for me?
1 hour just went by.
Was it 1 hour?
Yeah, it's more than 1 hour by now.
Brilliant.
And I think if the audience has made it up to this point, it's awesome. So,
of course. Do you have any questions for me?
In terms of team building, in terms of building a company, what is your viewpoint? Like, how do you look at it? Do you want to go ahead and build like a big company, have a lot of employees, get like a high valuation, or you just want to make more money, have like a lifestyle where you are traveling? How do you look at business and how do you want to grow in the next 10 years?
Yeah, nice. So the way I look at it is, first thing, like I definitely want to build a virtual business, right? Physical is great. Maybe we will have it certainly at some point of time, but virtual is more better, right? I love traveling a lot. I work super hard for 3-4 months. Then I travel, right? I take 25 days complete off. I'm totally offline. I'm not working and stuff like that. So I love traveling, right? And I love freedom because we are in this business for freedom, right? And making money and stuff like that. And by God's sake and by hard work, touch wood, by making decent money. And lately I've been going through life experiences. And from this thing, I learned this point that, hit me. We were even having this conversation before this, that money can only solve money problems. Then you're left with problems money can't solve, right? So of course, there's no end goal that I want to become a billionaire or I want to make $100 million. Yeah, we push as much as we can. At a certain point, you don't work for money because you're living a decent life. You're taking care of all your expenses. You're having good vacations. You're living a good life, taking care of parents and stuff like that. At a point, money doesn't really get that to you, right? So what gets is, can you do it? Do you have that in you to do it? I'm sure that is why you also running. I'm not really sure, because I know you are at a point where you don't have to work for money ever again, right? So maybe that hey, you are in the business, exactly. You are in this big game. Can you really win?
I do it because I can.
Yeah,
because
why not?
If you can't, then you can't do it. So if you can, you should do it.
Yeah, of course. And I love kicking ass. Right, Mark Benioff from Salesforce, he said this, like an interview. They're like, why are you in the business, right? You already have so much money, up private jets and stuff like that. He's like, I love kicking ass. If you and we are in the same industry, I'm gonna fuck you over, right? So, so that thing, right? Like, hey, you are in this industry, you're going. Can you become the thing? Do you have the kahunas to do shit, right? And it's all about that. So yeah, of course.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot.
Of course.
Great catching up with you here in
Likewise,
Bangalore. Yeah. We will definitely do another podcast in maybe 3 to 6 months.
Done.
And time just flew today having a conversation
Brilliant.
with you. This is a great takeaway, the reverse funnel launch system, which I am going to definitely put it into use. And for people watching this podcast, I will leave the link to this document below this video. So that's
Appreciate you, Deepak. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.